So what we need to do first is disconnect the cable to our PTO. It is this wire. If you're not sure which one it is, you can always go underneath and trace it back up to see which one comes through the hole in the bottom of the frame. So you probably can't see this. This is now disconnected. So we can either cut this zip tie here or push it through. And we need to pop this out the bottom of the machine. Otherwise, our drive belt can't come out. So we throw that through the bottom. Voila. Now we can go to the bottom. So as far as getting this belt off goes, this little arm right here, this bracket does need to come off, and it's bolted to right over here, which will allow us to get off the top belt. So we will loosen these. Once you remove those nuts and those bolts, then we can slip this out. And try to not let it hit the floor. So this one has a zip tie right here. I usually don't, but this one does. So you can remove that. Make sure our wire is not in the way when we go to pull that top belt down. And all we need here is a 1/2-inch drive, either ratchet or a breaker bar. And we will just twist that to release tension, and then you can peel your belt off. And then we can release that once you get it off of one pulley. And then our belt will come off. Not that easy though, but it'll come off. So then we can slide up. The deck belt does have to come off also. So you can really just grab that, just watch your fingers and twist, and that'll slip right down. And feed it through, good to go. So now our new belt, really the same thing but reversed. Put it around, same spots we were just at. So I like to get this somewhat in position. So I really do wish there was a better place to put this camera, because it's such a horrible angle for me. So basically what we want to do here is we want to put the pulley on this side, or we want to put the belt on this side first. So get that in that groove. We want to make sure we're still seated in our rear pulley at our crankshaft. This is going to come on here like this on our tensioner. So it's going to come from this side over and then back to the engine, and then around the engine, and then this side is going to get put on. So make sure your belt are in those places, and we have to slip this in here. There we go. And then this tension will get released, and that will allow you to put your belt on this side, and then you can release, and voila, your belt is on. And if all you're looking for is belt routing, here you go. From the engine, up and over, around, that away, and then back to the engine. So this wire for our PTO, make sure it's coming out this side, and this will get fed upwards into the machine. So I do like how they had a zip tie there. So I'm gonna put one back there, because then it definitely keeps this wire away from that top pulley. So there's a groove right here, which this will slide into. We can start with one bolt. Tighten these down. So once those are tightened down, our belt can go back on. Make sure it's not crossed or anything. Before you run this, make sure it's on correctly everywhere on your deck. So that zip tie, I did want to put in here, just so I know that wire isn't gonna hit anywhere on that PTO. You can cut that. All right, so we are done down here. We will head back up. So, you can grab our plug that we fed up through. There is a series of wires here with a zip tie around it. If you cut that, just make sure you put a new one back on it. But I did not cut mine. I was able to sneak it through. So I'm just gonna feed that back through there, nice and gently. And once you do that, you can plug your wire back in. It only goes in one way. Make sure everything's tight down there. Make sure it works. It is possible to put that belt on incorrectly. So keep an eye on that, because it won't drive if that belt is on wrong. So that routing is very, very important. If you look, that spring does go from the center over to that side, because it is possible for it to come over to this side and you'll think the belt's on right, but it won't be. So keep an eye on those things. I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching.